What if the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're lost, but because you've been waiting for a big breakthrough instead of making one small move? If you've been unmotivated, unsure of your purpose, and tired of comparing your life to everyone else's, this story will show you a simple shift that can quietly change everything. Stay with me. By the end, you'll see how small daily choices can rebuild your direction, your confidence, and your life. The afternoon air felt heavy, like it was waiting for something to happen. Mara sat on the edge of the pier, her sneakers dangling just above the water. The sea stretched wide and endless in front of her, but somehow she felt smaller than ever. Her phone buzzed again, another notification, another achievement from someone else. A former classmate starting a business, a friend posting graduation photos, someone announcing an engagement. She locked her screen. Everyone seemed to be moving forward, except her. At 23, Mara felt stuck in a space between who she used to be and who she thought she should become. She had dropped out of a program she once loved. She had tried a few jobs and quit them quietly, always feeling like she was pretending. Each morning felt heavier than the last. She wasn't lazy, at least she didn't think she was. She was just tired. Tired of comparing, tired of chasing things that didn't feel like hers, tired of not knowing what she wanted. The ocean moved steadily, indifferent to her confusion. Storm coming tomorrow, the voice startled her. An old man stood a few steps behind, holding a coiled fishing net. His skin was weathered like driftwood, his hat faded by years of sun. She had seen him before, out here most mornings and evenings, quiet, patient. She shook her head. "No, I just sit." He nodded as if that made perfect sense. They sat in silence for a while. The waves tapped gently against the wooden posts beneath them. After a few minutes, frustration spilled out of her before she could stop it. "Did you always know you wanted to do this?" she asked suddenly. He glanced at her. "Do what?" "Be a fisherman. Have something steady. Something that makes sense." He chuckled, low and warm. "I didn't choose the sea," he said. "I chose to wake up early." She frowned slightly. "That's not the same thing." "It is," he replied calmly. He pointed toward the horizon. "When I was young, I wanted to leave this place. Thought I'd be something bigger, something important." He shrugged. "But every morning the sun rose. And every morning I decided to rise with it. Not because I had big dreams, but because the tide waits for no one." Mara stared at the water. "I don't even know what I want," she admitted quietly. "Everyone else seems to. I feel like I'm already behind." The old man dipped his hand into a bucket beside him and pulled out a small, wriggling fish. "See this?" he said. "I didn't catch it by staring at the whole ocean. I cast one line, then another. Some days I catch nothing. Some days, something small. Rarely, something big." He gently placed the fish back into the bucket. "The ocean doesn't reward comparison," he continued. "It rewards consistency." The words settled in her chest. Consistency. She thought about her days lately, sleeping past noon, scrolling endlessly, waiting for a burst of motivation to change her life in one dramatic sweep, waiting to suddenly discover her passion like a lightning strike. But lightning didn't visit often. "What if I choose wrong?" she asked. He began repairing a tear in his net. "You will," he said simply. She blinked. "You'll choose wrong sometimes. You'll waste time. You'll try things that don't fit." He tied a careful knot. "But the only real mistake is not choosing at all." A gull cried overhead. "Tomorrow," he said, standing slowly. "Come at sunrise." "For what?" "To help me." She almost laughed. "I don't know how." "You'll learn." She almost didn't wake up. Her alarm rang at 4:45 a.m., and her first instinct was to roll over. The sky outside her window was still dark. What was she doing? But something small inside her, quieter than fear, steadier than doubt, whispered, Just get up." So she did. The air was cool when she reached the pier. The world felt softer at that hour. The old fisherman was already there, pushing his small boat closer to the water. "You came," he said, as if he had known she would. She nodded, sleepy but curious. The morning unfolded not with grand revelations, but with simple tasks. Holding the rope steady, sorting bait, watching how he cast the net, not with force, but with rhythm. The sun rose slowly, painting the sky in pale gold. She noticed something. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't frustrated when a cast came up empty. He adjusted. He tried again. "Doesn't it get boring?" she asked at one point. "Sometimes," he admitted. "But boredom is honest. It teaches patience." They caught only 3 small fish that morning. 3. Yet when they returned to shore, he looked satisfied. "Enough for today," he said. Mara felt oddly proud, even though she had done very little. She had shown up. She had stayed. She had tried. As the days passed, she returned at sunrise. Not every day felt magical. Some mornings were cold and unproductive. Some days she questioned why she was there at all. But slowly, almost invisibly, something shifted. Her sleep improved. Her thoughts quieted. She spent less time comparing herself to curated lives on a screen and more time noticing the color of the sky before dawn. One morning, as she coiled a rope with more confidence than before, she realized something. She didn't feel stuck. Her life hadn't dramatically changed. She hadn't discovered her ultimate purpose. She hadn't built a business or found a grand passion. But she had built a habit, and the habit was building her. The old fisherman watched her secure the boat neatly. "You see?" he said. "I think I do," she replied. She understood now that she had been waiting for a big dream to rescue her. A clear sign, a guarantee. But life wasn't a single leap across the ocean. It was waking up before sunrise. It was casting one line. It was tying one knot carefully. It was choosing again and again to show up. "Will I fish forever?" she asked. He smiled. "That's not the point. The point wasn't the sea. The point was the sunrise." That evening, instead of scrolling, she wrote down one small thing she would do the next day. Not a 5-year plan, not a perfect future, just one choice. Apply for one course, walk for 20 minutes, read 10 pages, wake up early. Tiny things, but real. Weeks later, as she stood on the pier watching the tide roll in, she no longer felt behind. The ocean was vast, yes, but she didn't need to conquer it. She only needed to cast her line. And if it came back empty, she would cast it again. Because real change, she had learned, doesn't arrive like a storm. It gathers like the tide, quiet, patient, shaped by small daily choices that no one applauds, but that slowly, surely reshape the shore. And for the first time in a long while, Mara felt steady. Not because she had found all the answers, but because she had finally begun. And if this story reminded you that real change starts with one small step today, don't just watch, act. Drop a comment with the one small move you're making after this. Hit subscribe for stories that push you forward every week, and let's build the life you've been waiting for, together.